Excited about this. This is really making something that's kind of old, really, really new again with this interactivity that you've created with the pulleys. Explain this to everybody.
So, I've collected really beautiful antique ephemera my entire career that has spanned more than 3 decades now. And when I go in my archive, I look at these beautiful things that I have from the 1800s that are, most people know as Victorian Valentines. And they're very, very fragile, right? And they open like this, and the parts of the card present themselves. And a lot of times, the antique pieces, like these, the mechanism, right, it's all broken, or there are pieces that have come apart. So what we've done our best to re-engineer something that came before. Okay, we have a little happy anniversary. We have a wonderful birthday, love to call you a friend. We're presenting layers of card layers and embellishments in the same way that they did in the late 1800s. Now, isn't that fun? So we have an instruction sheet with all the technical drawings of how to create the pulley system, right? And these were, once upon a time, we've taught people how to do this from scratch, but we've also done it in a card making kit, but we've never done it in a die set where we simplified this down to the lowest common denominator, and that is this. These two things or what allow the layers to pull. This is a concentric layered die set plus an easel background that opens and closes in the front. Now, if you're taking your Empress Elite and you're using your large plate system, look at that. You can cut most of it all at one time, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to take all the concentric layers and, just planned out my paper, right? I'm using metallic, a matte foil cardstock. I'm using a pattern cardstock. I'm using different things to distinguish the layers for themselves as they pull forward on the card. And the easier part to this is this part, right? This little die cutting part where, right? So look at that. You could just use that for the front of a card. That is a beautiful trellis. But this is going to be the part where we make the interactive part come to life, and we do that by, we start with the actual background of the card, okay, so that was the, this was the outer die, and then it folds up like that, okay, and so we add the shadow, this to the back of the card. Now, this is where it gets exciting, and that is you want to create the mechanism, which is this little rectangular loop, and it gets glued to the back of the first layer, and it has adhesive at the bottom, and we're going to apply this to the card. Okay, so I'm going to just set this in, and then we're going to press down, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure that this is far enough. I didn't get it there. Okay, we want it to be on the bottom of the card. Okay, there we go. And then we want to connect it, right? Because the card needs to move, the layer needs to move with the card. All right, so that's how the interactive part is going to work. And this little mechanism is so important, right? It's the part that is very, like I said, fragile in the antique cards, but it's definitely something that we can use. I'm just going to show you how we're going to add another one right in front. So again, we're going to press down in front, and then we're going to come up in the back and press them together so that the entire mechanism works in concert with itself. All right, that makes sense. I hope so. And we decorate the face of the card, and then we definitely can decorate the. I'm guessing my die cuts are stuck to me somewhere. There we go. We can go in and embellish the top of this. We can add sentiments. We can create even more of a conversation for people when they open this interactive card. Now, it will stand if you get it all straightened out. It will ultimately stand on its own. There's another happy anniversary. There's lots of well wishes for me today. But here we go. It's like a reveal. A drawbridge lets down, and you have this incredible reveal. And we've made something very hard, very simple.
There you go. I mean, no engineering required. It's just incredibly beautiful. I mean, I can't imagine what you would have to spend if you found something like this in retail. I mean, there's something to be said for pop-up cards or the interesting interactive cards, but this is, I mean, there's like 4 or 5 different layers. This is just like, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Look at that. I mean, we've got 2 maybe more simplified versions out here compared to what you just saw Anna create in front of our very own eyes. They're beautiful. And this is our weekly deal drop, meaning you get the best price on this if you get it before Sunday. That is if they are still here by Sunday night. And because it has, as I said, been wildly popular. We just put it up on the screen for the first time. Over 300 gone. So I hope you can make something new or something old very new again in something that everybody's talking about. And I don't think anybody's doing anything like this, Anna, are they?
No, no, and I love this so much. That's why I did it, right? I love these because they're so rare, and you are able. This is a technique that, because you've got this little die cut for this the die to make this little apparatus, right? You can make any layers. You can bring to life any concentric die set that you have, right? Just by adding that little mechanism to the back. So that same little piece, right? This little rectangular piece, right? That moves up and down, right? It can motorize any of your cards. So really, it becomes something that is, you just want to make sure that you use a little hot glue on the bottom, so that all the pieces stay together, so that when the card is opened and closed, that it doesn't come apart. But we do, like we look right into it, like an old-timey camera. We are making something incredibly interactive and beautiful. And just like they did so many years ago.
And this is one of the kits that I highly recommend getting the die cutting machine for if you don't have one, or if you want to upgrade yourself to one. This is the one everybody's buzzing about, and it's, I mean, it's a hot commodity. It's hard to keep in our inventory. I don't think, you might be able to find just the machine out there in retail for $330, but then you'd have to get those plates. You're getting literally 2 separate sides of plates for the small and the large that you would never get in retail. You'd spend, gosh, maybe close to $100 on those plates, but we include them, and the price is only $299. So this is one of the things that we just talked about with that interactive pulley die set, that you need this machine. So if you want